Etsy news. There's a new scam potentially about to hit Etsy. Etsy sellers have been using the site for good-ish. And can a brand new shop on Etsy make over 10,000 sales in 1 month? All that and more in this week's Etsy news. So, first of all, Etsy can't maths. Etsy can't do maths. For those of you that haven't noticed, Etsy has been rearranging how our shop looks a little bit. This looks all dark because I got the ability to edit how my shop looked, and the grey looked the best, but it doesn't in the screenshot now. But yeah, so I did notice that it was saying I've been on Etsy for 14 years, and people in the forums have been noticing this as well. Hi everyone, I just noticed Etsy showing how many years we've been on the platform. Nice touch, except mine appears to be off. I joined in 2008, should be 17 years, it's only showing 14. I was in 2008 as well, a little bit later than this person, but I should be 17 years as well. Mine is wrong too. I've been on Etsy since 2009. That's 16 years. And as someone said, it seems Etsy forgot to teach the minions to count further than 14. Anyone who's been over 14 years is stuck with a 14, which is hilarious because Etsy just celebrated its 20th birthday. So it should know that numbers over 14 should be possible. And onto the changing how your shop looks, a few people did mention, where has my shop title gone? Because when you're editing your shop from your your shop dashboard, you can see your title underneath the name of your shop, a little description of what your shop is. And this is there for SEO purposes as well, not that it's going to help you rank on Etsy, so don't overthink it. But search engines like Google can see it, but I'd be very surprised if you're ranking your shop on Google for anything other than people searching for your shop name. So it's not particularly important. I'm not going to get ranking on Google for needle felted dog. So yes, it's there for SEO purposes, but it's handy for your potential customers who come to your shop. They get an idea, what's this shop about? But no more is that when you actually go into the shop, Etsy have been changing how things are showing, and we've now got this incorrect how many years on Etsy. You have to scroll all the way down to the About section, which interestingly, when you're allowed to change your colours due to your brand palette, what's happened here is just that little bit where your shop name is, that changes colour, and your About section. So they are sort of connected, even though they're a long way apart on your home screen. But that is where your title has now gone, along with the actual correct date of when you've been on Etsy since. Sorry, this is too serious to be yawning. So this is coming from places like Amazon. People are noticing a new scam. I haven't heard of it on Etsy yet, but we've got to keep an eye out for it. AI images are being used as proof of damage. So people are getting their item, photographing it, putting it into AI, asking the AI, hey, can you make this look like it was damaged, to be able to get their money back. Now, here's my customary warning that most Etsy buyers are lovely. This is unlikely to be a massive problem. Don't assume all your buyers are scamming you, but some will be. If this is a thing, if it's possible, yes, this will be happening. So what I'm going to say, an individual shop, this is going to be very difficult to prove. So at the minute in time, where possible, I think you want to make sure that your listings are correct to be eligible for the purchase protection program, because this means that Etsy will cover damage, or at least the first instance of stuff being damaged in the mail. This is not perfect by any means, but it does mean the money for refunds comes out of Etsy's pocket rather than your pocket. But there's another thing there. Buyers could go about 200 different sellers and try the scam on them, and it would work most of the time because you have no way of knowing what they're doing to other sellers. Etsy does know. If there's hundreds and hundreds of claims by this one buyer, they're getting all their stuff's getting damaged, then Etsy are about to go like, hold on there, we don't want you on our platform. Either you've got a mailman who likes to drop kick things, or you're a scammer. So Etsy can be smarter at catching this scam than we can. I don't like to say this. This is for the purchase protection program. You've got to use Etsy shipping labels, have tracked tracking, and your order value must be less than $250. So I'm saying if you have high value items, Etsy very much might not be the place for you just now. And I'm sad in saying that. Anyway, here we go. Was Etsy using its platform for good? For anyone who missed this, at the recent Coldplay concert, they put up a kiss cam where they go through their audience and put up on the big screen couples who are getting it smoochy at a Coldplay concert. The only thing is, these people that were caught were not together. He's married, just not to her. So they were caught, and he saw himself on the kiss cam and tried to run away and hide behind a glass wall. So I have to say that Etsy sellers got on this quick. Now, whether Coldplay's happy with their name being used like this, the individuals do have the rights to their own their their own appearances and everything. So whether you can actually sell this, who knows? However, it did tickle me. The card, I promise to never cheat on you at a Coldplay concert and hide behind a glass wall. I think that's hilarious. The cartoon, very good, very clever, done quickly. And Coldplay with the lyrics, when you try your best but don't succeed. This is it's turning into quite the saga, actually, because it seems that he's the CEO of the company and she's the head of human resources. So there's a whole lot of places where that kind of workplace shenanigans is frowned upon, most definitely. So, yeah, sadly, these people are probably getting into some level of trouble, not just him from his wife. But it did make me chuckle that there are people on Etsy that can move fast, hit a meme. This is hitting the headlines in places as well. I think it's amusing. Well, it's not. There's lives being ruined. I shouldn't be smiling. There is lives being ruined with this, but it is. It's kind of funny too. What a way to get caught! Wow. Um, and a final little thing, I haven't looked at the top shops on Etsy that opened this year, and now we're 7 months into the year. I thought there'd be some big sellers. What I didn't expect, this shop is less than 3 months old, and it's now up to around 1,000. Try again, Pam. It's now up to 10,000 sales a month. It's nearly at 22,000 sales and growing. It's a craft supplies shop. It's selling like jewelry supplies, charms, and things, which made me happy because the biggest Etsy shop for a long time was Bohemian Findings, and they were shut down a few years ago. I'm not sure. People talk about some level of scandal. I couldn't find anything definitive, but it's nice to see a supply shop doing this well. It's Yes, the items are probably drop shipped, but that's allowed as supplies. They find good supplies. Actually, I've had a slight dig around, and the items on Alibaba to drop ship, I think it's the similar ones anyway, they're no cheaper on Etsy. So I don't know how they're making their money unless they're actually making these things or like really getting a good deal on wholesale. But yeah, I think it's interesting anyway. There's a shop that's doing well. People are still buying supplies on Etsy, and it's better than some of the shops we've seen. Let me know what you think. But anyway, that's the news for this week. Unless I've missed something, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. And yeah, before we're getting very close to Etsy's Q2 financial report. That's coming on the 30th, which is 10 days from now. Analysts are making all sorts of predictions. They're contradictory, so I didn't get into it too much. But Etsy often does something before these reports, especially in the summer. This is like gift mode came up. The other controversial things that people hated came up. Now, yes, the Etsy charging third-party companies for their API access is a thing that's causing a little bit of chatter, but keep an eye out. There might be something bigger coming our way. I hope not too bad, but I'll keep my eye on it. And yeah, I'll see you next week.